being present and being part of sets in our art shows. And that is where I want to start from. You know, behind the scene, Roberto was telling me it's not HiPipo, it's HiPipo. Because I've always been wondering, is it HiPipo, is it HiPipo? But it's HiPipo. So you were recently part of this, you know, part of the experience of HiPipo.
Yes.
Performing and presenting at this particular show. Tell us exactly how that experience was.
It was amazing because it's always a great honor getting to represent Zambia and being flag carrier for years and years and years and still to be appreciated. And just that invite itself was monumental for me because the HiPipo Awards are one of the most prestigious awards in Uganda. So it was for me almost like getting to honor me for the works that I've done with some of the artists back there in Uganda and East Africa. So it was really a great feeling. Glad to have represented the country. And yeah, definitely networked and a couple of songs and projects coming up because of that.
A couple of songs. I mean, I love the fact that you've mentioned a number of East African countries, and I know that is like your stronghold. The East Africans love the Roberto brand.
They do, they do.
And are you thinking of probably going on a tour in these countries?
We have a tour that's already been set.
Okay.
We should be unveiling that list very soon. Yeah, true story, true story. So it's a world tour, and the name of the tour is actually the name of my forthcoming album. That is what I will tell you. So
so I can't even give me the name.
No,
give me something to work with, Roberto.
I'll just give you a clue.
Okay.
It's something to do with achieving something, like being number one. Yeah. Being
the greatest, the gods, the what?
No.
Look at me guessing around. But if you have an idea of what that next album will be called or what the next tour will be called, feel free. The number is right there.
And by the way, it doesn't have the word superstar in it at all.
Guys, if you know, the number is on your screen. Be part of this conversation as I speak to Roberto. But also, let's talk about, you know, how we're talking about how this is an internet era. Everybody's wants to use the internet, and people will get into horrible stands just to make themselves, you know, trained. But in this kind of era, how have you consistently just maintained the Roberto brand and stayed away from drama?
Look, the internet is a place where now people are utilizing to market their brands and that sort of thing. And I believe that platforms like TikTok, for example, are go-to places. So if you're an artist out there and you're looking at ensuring that your song gets to the masses, TikTok is probably the first place that you want to really just find your ground on. For someone like me who doesn't dance, who can't dance, you kind of like depend on other people that have that unique set of skills, and you kind of like ask them, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do ABCD? Because at some point people get to follow suit when they see some of their favorite personalities getting to do it. From a business point of view, of course, it's important for you to lend the ropes and ensure that your content that is going up on your platforms is one that is relevant to the people. Does it relate with people? So yeah, it's something that you kind of like learn along the years and try and master and perfect.
Interesting. But also speaking about the Army Ruler song, we're speaking behind the cameras about just how, you know, in other countries it may have died down, but this is when other countries are picking it up as well. How does that make you feel? Knowing you released this song, what, 6 years ago? Yeah,
it's gonna be clocking 10 years soon.
Right?
So
it's still making rounds in other countries.
Because I released the song in 2014 October. I think it was like a week or two before President Michael Sata died. Yeah, so when we released the song, then we had national mourning for a whole month, and then boom, all of a sudden the song was trending.
I will tell you something. When your song was released, I think I was in Namibia, and they ate it up. Do you understand? Like they ate it up.
Yeah.
And now to get to see that this is when other countries are also
they're catching on. Yeah. It's really just remarkable, and it shows you that social media is amazing.
It is.
You know, and look at the guys that are making this song trend. I doubt if in 2015 they were as old as they are now, you know what I mean? Because the teenagers, some of them are like 19, they're 20, and that sort of thing. So it's amazing how people of different ages seem to catch on to certain songs. There's a particular song where there was this chubby guy. I think it's very famous on TikTok. Would you believe that song was released over 10 years ago? So, like, music will always seem to regenerate for years to come. And for me, that's why I take pride in making music that people can relate to, and when they listen to it, it's like, okay, yeah, this one I can listen to it next year as well.
Do you get to feel pressure in releasing a song that you want to be a classic, or is it something that's like whatever happens, happens?
I feel like the minute you box yourself in a shell like that, then you start to lose direction. Why? Because then you're working under pressure, and it's in your head. 2, you start pressurizing your followers because you want to achieve certain results based on certain results elsewhere. So I feel like it's always important to just be you, be the artist that you are. For example, African Woman only started trending a year later after its release, close to 2 years later. So take your time, make great music, and people will enjoy.
Most definitely. And I heard you spoke about how you have such a huge fan base in East Africa. I want to know, what is the difference between your fan base in East Africa and your fan base here?
Wow.
I know, tough question,
That's one of the toughest questions I've ever been asked.
I know, but I get to ask it.
Oh, wow. I might not really have the perfect answer for it, because I do not want to marginalize the support that I get home and away. The truth is,
I'm gonna hold on that. There is a person I want to speak to you. Hi, Chikani Kadaka. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Esther. How are you?
I'm okay. Go ahead. I have Mr. Roberto himself here with me.
Roberto, what's up?
how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Small dude, I can find them on social media, Chakanika.
Imagine, just busy on social media, but at least now we have got a platform to talk to the man then.
Okay.
Of course.
Have you listened to his new song, Solo?
Yeah, it's a lit jam. He always delivers. He never disappoints.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Daka.
Do you have any words that you'd like to say to him?
That you want to listen to, not like typical Z Dunka, something different. Yeah, keep up the good work, man.
Thank you so much, Chakarika, for calling in.
Before I go, I've got a question for Roberto.
Okay.
Roberto, since this year we have seen fill-up season, are you also pressured to fill up a stadium? Or because I think it's long coming, because you have been filling up outside there. When are you bringing it to the motherland?
Thank you so much, Chakanika, for asking the next question I was about to ask. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Very, 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 very good question.
Yep.
So I'll tell you, last year, that was the plan. Yes, so we did speak with a few stakeholders, and initially we wanted to have an event at Woodland Stadium. Yeah, so remember that there was the Kopala
experience.
Yes, during that period, that's when we started talking to some of certain stakeholders. Say, listen, this is what I want to do, because would you believe it, up to today, I have never had a single album launch event ever in my career. So what we thought of doing was having this album launch event, but then I wanted to have a couple of friends. So we did the flyers, we did the artwork, everything was said and done. But I feel it's great that we have started in this trajectory where we are challenging ourselves. It doesn't mean that when one does it, means another cannot do it. I feel like it's just great motivation to proceed and say, hey, how can I make it better? How can I do it better? Not to try and outclass the other person, but it's a way in which we are uplifting standards for ourselves as an industry and as artists. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing something monumental for my people that have been supporting me for a very long time.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I hope you are satisfied with the answer that he gave, Chakania. Roberto has answered. Fingers crossed we'll get to see that as well. Now, for me, something I appreciate about you, Roberto, is your ability to collaborate with almost anyone.
Yeah.
You've collaborated from the likes of, the Vita Avenue. I was obsessed with that song.
With Vanessa Mdee.
Vanessa. Yeah. You continue being a great person. But I was so obsessed with that song, and I've also seen you've collaborated with a number of artists as well, from Harmonize to whoever that you can think of, right? Yeah. And one collaboration I never saw coming is Chandana K.
Of course.
Right?
Of course, yeah.
Like, I never saw that coming as well. So how do you choose these collaborations?
For me, it's the vibe. I like it when I'm listening to an artist and I'm vibing that person. Like, I don't necessarily have to know them personally, but when I listen to your music, I should be like, okay, cool. So I came across Chandana K via an interview that I saw on YouTube, And the song that they were promoting then, I was like, okay, cool, let me try and search. Then I heard another song. Then I heard a song called Chiloe. I was like, wait a minute, what?
And that song made rounds. I can't blame you.
I was like, wait a minute, who are these guys? And I was like, this, for me, that is a song that made me say, definitely, I need to work with these guys, because it was the vibe and everything else. And remember, we're during lockdown, so it was
People
just
are looking
amazing.
for something.
Yeah. You know, and I was just like, wow, this is great. I love the energy and just what they're doing. I was like, I need to work with these guys. So I contacted Gerald. Gerald was like, actually, they're my boys. I was like, kidding me. I've got something that I want to do with them. So we arranged. They came to Lusaka, went into studio. Same day we recorded. A few weeks later, music video, boom, the song is out.
How do you come up with these lyrics? Because I'm going to be honest, the John Boy did it. It's a very Kopala. Like, listen, I'm from Kopala, so it's a Kopala thank phrase. Like, John Boy did it, John Boy. And then you make it sound very sweet. Like, John Boy. Like, how do you come up with these lyrics, Roberto?
So I was looking for a word that would easily start the verse, and one that anyone anywhere in the world could probably easily sing along to. And then I was looking for words in Swahili and, you know, languages that are very popular in East Africa. And I noticed that is one of the words that's also popular. So I was like...
Does it mean the same thing?
Pretty much the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought to myself, let me give it a shot. And so I wanted to find a way on how to get to do it. So jumbo, 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 jumbo.
Come on.
And the follow-up word is twende, twende. And that is also synonymous in East Africa. So it's like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So yeah, everything for me, I try to plan it, ensure that it reaches a certain demographic. That's why I also threw in some Spanish in there.
This is why I was talking about this just earlier on the show, about how you get to know your target audience and what will sell. And I think you've managed to master that.
Yeah.
Because you're not just, at this point...
You just don't sing.
Yes.
You plan what you say.
You've realized, like, okay, I'm not just making songs for Zambians at this point. So,
True.
I love the fact that you included the East Africans. That's
no,
really
I did.
dope.
They're there. That's how come it's easy for me to perform Fiancé in East Africa, because they hear the first word. Jumbo, jumbo.
Do they go as crazy as we do for that song in this country?
Of course. It's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe, that song. So, yeah.
You know, I was making fun of you when you came in. Like, you keep giving us these amazing singles. Are they amounting to something big? Like maybe an EP, but no, you can't give us an EP. You're a big brand, you need to give us an album.
Of course, there is an album coming. Like I mentioned, the name of the album will be revealed together with the world tour that we're having. So
I was hoping to trick you so that you tell me the album. Come on.
You're working with a thinker, someone who thinks before they say something. So yeah, there's an album definitely coming. Let me not mention when exactly, but it's coming. It's a very interesting album. Some really cool collaborations. But this I will tell you for free. You don't even have to beg. Songs like My Baby will be on the album.
Solo will be on the
Nobody,
album.
of course, Solo is going to be on the album. Nobody will be on the album as well. So these 3 songs definitely guaranteed they will be on the album, including the one that we'll be releasing next.
He just told me he's releasing new music next. Okay, great. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you know, your big brother, Gerald Aussie, something that I'm really sad about.
5-star general.
The 5-star Gerald Aussie is hanging the cap. He's saying, okay, I've done this for a while, for over what?
20 years
20
now.
years.
Yeah.
Let's call it quits. How do you feel about this?
I think he has done his part. For me, it's an accomplishment because he introduced me to East Africa. I used to travel with General Aussie as a backing artist. You get it? And people were paying attention to General Aussie. Then, yeah, you're the guy that remains in the background. You know, like when he's speaking, you're just nodding your head like, yeah, that's true. You know what I mean?
Busy harmonizing.
Yeah. So for someone that has opened the doors for not only myself, and you need to understand this is a generation of artists, right? There's General Aussie, then there's Roberto, then you have artists like Manas, Mandela, Ice Kid, and all these other guys, Titania, and all of them. Anyone that I've worked with, it's because it comes from that stem.
Can I hold your thoughts again?
No problem.
We have a fan that wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Hi, Rapson Piri. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hi, Rapson. Go ahead with your contribution.
Can you get your pardon, please?
Pardon?
Yes.
Please reduce the volume on your TV. I always say this. It gives us feedback. All right. If you can call him, please do call him, but ensure that you reduce the volume on TV sets. It's just like a normal phone call, guys. You don't have to listen to yourselves. Come on now. But anyway, you were saying about your sentiments about General Aussie.
So Aussie has paved the way for a lot of artists, and if he feels he's done his part, hey, who are we to interject and just applaud the man? So he has his final show coming up in August, and I'm privy to what he has planned. I will tell you, it will be a masterpiece, a great event, a night that I don't think anyone should miss. Definitely, you cannot miss it.
I'll be there with my camera.
Yeah, please do come through. Please do come through. But yeah, I feel like he's given us great songs, great albums, wonderful performances, a great way to network with people, a wonderful way to teach most of us just about the values about music. You know, the music industry is one that you can't jump into thinking you know everything. Sure. You learn something every day from artists that have been there before you, and just how to engage with people, how to interact with people, how to treat people. So there's a lot that one can learn from General Aussie. So in as much as he may be retiring from being an active artist, I think his doors are still open to advise and just getting to mentor people. So yeah, there's a lot to learn from him.
Most definitely. But also, let's talk about your new single, which is Solo. You know, it's really interesting that you get to use certain words that you know will stick in people's minds. For example, my baby, Amarula. Like, it's words that don't easily leave you. So Solo, I'm writing Solo, you know, so you get to see this, and which is a huge sensation at the moment right now since it's released. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that song.
So Solo was meant to strengthen those that have come into our lives and have changed the way we look at life in general. I've been saying this to say I have met so many single parents, and then they meet someone who just accepts them as they are, and they motivate you and tell you, listen, you can do it, you know. Whatever happened in your past relationship happened, and you can still become a better person in life, in society. And then you find that person motivates you to a point where you elevate. What song do you have for that person? Do you have a song that you can dedicate to that person because they have made you feel empowered, they have made you feel special and changed you? And that's why I thought, let me make a song that really targets people that feel they have someone that has changed a part of their life. So people say, no, but this song is a perfect wedding song. The other one say, no, it's a perfect song when I'm engaged. This one is saying it's a perfect song for our anniversary. And you see people relate to it in different ways depending on their situation. And so for me, it's just about producing good music, great music. And that's why in the song it says, no longer solo in life. But I felt the opening words and opening lines for me are probably one of the most important, because it says, to the world, you're a beauty. In my world, you're my only. My special somebody, high five to GOtv.
High five to GOtv.
Yep.
Most definitely. Now, before I also let you go, any progress on this forthcoming album? Have you recorded a number of songs apart from the singles that you've given us? International collaborations, local collaborations that you can tell us anything I can work at this point.
Okay, so we do have a number of collaborations, both local and international. That much I will tell you. There are a couple of new wave artists on the album. There's also an artist that only a chosen few might remember, but he's a legendary Zambian artist that is on the album. So it's pretty interesting.
An internet artist? What did you say?
I said an artist.
I said an artist.
I said a legendary
artist.
Zambian artist, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. If you know him, then you really know Zambian music, the history of Zambian music.
All right, and thank you so much for joining us, Roberto. Interesting things. We'll be looking forward to that tour announcement.
Thank you.
Plus the album release as well. Follow him as well on his social media platforms. It's Roberto Zambia everywhere.
True.
And subscribe to his YouTube channel. We have to support Zambian artists, all right?